In this video, I'm going to share with you how I healed from generalized anxiety disorder, and weaving in through my story, I'm going to share the therapies, the modalities of what really moved the needle in my anxiety overcoming, healing, recovery journey, sub any word in there, that I want to inspire you. If you're suffering right now, and if you just have been told, or you think, or you've heard, you're always just going to be like this. You're always just going to have anxiety, so just deal with it. I am here to tell you to throw that out of the window, reject that. Do not allow that to be your reality and your future. Those people, let them have it, let them be in their own journey, and you are clearly searching to find support, answers, inspiration, that you don't have to live, suffer, and just move through life with constant worry, stress, social anxiety, overwhelm, overthinking, can't sleep, all these symptoms and ways I used to operate from for most of my life. People pleaser, a perfectionist, all these different shades that anxiety can really take on, that even if we're high functioning, which I was for such a long time, and overdoing it, and in a way, people seeing I'm excelling, but inside I was in just a ton of inner turmoil. And I went on this journey to overcome and heal from it. And I'm here to tell you that I really like to use a scale of what used to be a 10 for me for anxiety. Think physically, feeling it in my body, not sleeping, constant tension in my body, nausea. I never got headaches, which was a really lovely non-symptom. But for you, where would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 being barely any? These blue is barely any, 5 or 10. I was probably at a 12, off the charts here. And as I went through different ways to heal, different therapies, different modalities, which I'm going to discuss in the video, from a top-down approach and a bottom-up approach, what really, really moved the needle, and perhaps why you aren't feeling like anything you're trying is working, and that you've tried everything. I have been there. I have said that as well. And I'll tell you and help you start to connect to why what you have tried or are currently trying isn't working. So first, let me introduce myself. I am Megan-Elise. I am a clinical hypnotherapist and a rapid transformational therapist. And really my journey and road to overcoming generalized anxiety was so supported in the work that I do now. So not only do I have personal experience to share from, but in my work and my vocation, I first started off in working with and specializing in anxiety and supporting clients through that. So I've walked this journey by myself and walked this journey with so many clients. So I am very excited to share tidbits and key insights that you can start applying, practicing, working with today in this now, to really move that needle from wherever you may be, 10, to move your way down that scale. So I didn't really explain all these blue things in the 10. So anxiety can show up physically in your body, can show up mentally, and that overthinking, the constant worry, the social anxiety, the what did I say? Did I say it the right way? Did I say it the wrong way? The different faces of anxiety, the people pleasing, the perfectionism, the overdoing it, over excelling, over everything. And really, when we're at that level 10, we are just looking for some relief. What's just really quite out in the collective is talk therapy. This is a top-down approach. So a top-down approach to working with anxiety is cognitive based, in the mind. So different approaches to this would be CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, DPT, the psychotherapy. It's really about that top level of the mind and working with thoughts. Now, I'm not here to put down any type of modality, any type of therapy. You will find that different modalities, different top-down or bottom-up approaches will work in your own system at different stages of the journey really, really well. So a practice to try on from a top-down approach would be thinking better thoughts, would be thinking best case scenario, would be awareness of negative or worrisome thoughts, pausing when you're having that thought. So this is actually really helpful in moment to moment throughout the day when anxiety just starts to become our normal state in the mind, in the body. It becomes very familiar, and that's just where the system goes, where our mind goes. So you might not even be aware that you're having worrisome thoughts, anxious thoughts. They're just looping, and that's just how you constantly feel. Where when you can start to take a moment to pause, take a step back and look at, oh, I'm thinking worst case scenario. Oh, I'm actually having a very negative thought about myself, about a future thing, about ruminating of the past, and just pausing and having that awareness. That becomes like a pattern and trap, because anxiety is a pattern and it just keeps going and going and looping. So that's actually a very powerful exercise, moment to moment, to start to break up this loop of anxiety. Now, bottom up is more about the body and emotional states rather than just the cognitive processes. And these types of therapies are like EMDR, the internal family systems, which is connecting to your inner parts, yoga therapy, somatic experiencing, dance therapy, play therapy, and these ones are connecting more to your body, feeling versus going mind down. Bottom up, body, mind down. So when I was doing more research on the different approaches, there was lots of gray areas. So if you're like, no, this is what top down is, and no, this is what bottom up is, there's just a lot of gray areas. So I'm not going to say that what I'm saying is blanket statement what it is. We're just really working with making it simple here so we can start to tap into what actually our system will respond most effectively where you are at in your scale. I did yoga for 6 years and didn't notice one thing different about anxiety. It didn't help. I would be anxiously thinking throughout the yoga practice. I couldn't lay in shavasana. There couldn't be silence. If it wasn't moving fast enough, I felt, like we gotta go quick, we gotta move here. Like how anxiety showed up in my body was like, let's go, busy, move, let's constantly be doing and moving and not being in stillness and being in calm and being ease. So this bottom up approach when I was at a 12 did nothing for me. Now, is that the truth now? No. But what actually moved the needle wasn't top down or bottom up. It was actually a hybrid of the two, the middle. And I didn't see the middle from top down or bottom up while I was doing this research, because what really moved the needle at my 12 on the scale here was subconscious work, was clinical hypnotherapy. And when I was reading top down, it was all of the conscious thoughts, and really that top part of your mind, not the deep subconscious, unconscious part of your mind, which some articles were saying that was actually bottom up therapy. When I was really tuning into it, it was like bottom up to me feels like body, emotions, feeling, nervous system, and top down really feels like mind. So that's how I'm going to distinguish them. And then I'm going to say the middle is that unconscious, subconscious part of your mind. So when you work with that deep part of your mind, that primal part of your mind where limiting beliefs get stored, where significant events get stored, where I really got to dive down into the root and causes of why anxiety, where it was rooted, where it was birthed essentially. I went back to memories. I went back to learned behaviors. I got to see, wow, I was taught and shown by a parent that is how you respond to life. And from 0 to 7, your subconscious mind is just on record. Conscious faculties are not working yet. They're not developed yet. So I was shown you respond to life in an anxious and stressful way. So that just became my normal. But when I could see that, when I went back in these clinical hypnotherapy and RTT sessions, I was like, oh my goodness, the connections were there. I could see it clearly. And now I've worked with clients where we don't go back to memories, yet they're still dealing with anxiety. When we're working in clinical hypnosis and in that theta brainwave state with your subconscious mind, we can actually connect to the part of you that is anxious, that is the anxiety. Little tidbit for you, let's stop calling my anxiety, because you're owning it. My house, my car, my dog, my friends, my boyfriend, these are things like mine versus the. Creating that separation, that the anxiety, not my anxiety, the anxiety, because you are not anxiety. You are not anxiety. You experience it, and there is a part of you, the anxiety, that is coming to the forefront, that is driving the car. So in these sessions, we could actually connect where the anxiety lives, connect to that part, and ask that part, why are you here? What are you trying to tell me? How old do you think I am? And this, of course, is the client asking themselves those questions and me guiding it. And then we can start to understand, oh, the anxiety is there because I don't feel safe. Perhaps a parent wasn't there to create that safety. And then that root of why the anxiety there is really shown. And when we can get to what the anxiety is doing, the role, where it stemmed from, you can process that and tend to it. So this approach of working with the subconscious in the middle really moved where I was again off the charts physically, mentally, emotionally. I wasn't even living in my body. I couldn't even feel my body. I was so disassociated, so living in my mind, chin up and not chin down. I didn't know any other emotion other than anxiety. This moved me to a 5. And I was like, I'm healed. I am healed from anxiety. I sang it from the rooftops, because really when you move that much down the scale, you do feel like you feel like a whole new person. Your mind, your thoughts start to change. What you used to feel when social anxiety, now it's so muted. It's so much less. The thoughts, you don't have that racing mind when you go to bed or when you wake up. You don't need to take anything to help you sleep. Like this 5 felt, I'd never had felt that before. And as I reflect back, I know it was a 5 because I thought I was at a 1 at that point. I was like, woo, just working with that middle. But as time and as years started to go by and I started to notice I was actually at a 5. I was like, okay, well, now what? So really take note of this. If you've tried top-down approaches, you've tried bottom-up approaches, it didn't move the needle, this is something to feel into. It's not actually about just one approach, but a holistic approach, a hybrid and a pulling of the different top-down, bottom-up, middle throughout your journey. So when I got to a 5 and it was starting to show up when I was shifting in my work, intense feelings and emotions again, I went to bottom up and actually feeling my body, connecting to somatic and nervous system techniques was what I needed at a 5. So you might need something different in your journey wherever you may be and at your start to move the needle. So that's why I'm giving you a little tidbit of it all, and then you can look into, okay, I resonate with this, I don't resonate with that, or actually I tried CBT and it didn't work for me, but now here that I'm at this 6, that might actually be what's moving the needle for you. Also in the middle, working with the subconscious, this is your feeling mind, right? So I actually got to start to feel, okay, where does anxiety show up in my body? Because I was so disconnected from it, and start to, in the sessions as well, process those emotions from those old memories and like really move that through. And then bring in the bottom up therapy, more practice and training, not just in the sessions, but day to day of feeling my nervous system and what would dysregulate me and what would help regulate back into that safe nervous system. So I'm going to share with you some ways to actually connect to your body. I don't know about you, but when I was really anxious, I couldn't feel or know what emotions I was feeling. I just have an emotion wheel on my phone. You can Google emotions wheel and tons of pictures will show up, so that when you're starting to feel an activation or hyperarousal or dysregulation or anything that's bringing you down more into shutdown, right? Nervous system, fight, flight, freeze, fawn, shutdown. You can, to regulate emotions, look at this wheel and be like, okay, because I didn't even know what emotions I was feeling. Be like, okay, I'm actually feeling fear. And where in my body do I feel it? So this is a practice. Even do this right now. What are you feeling? Connect to your body. Where do you feel it? And place your hand there. Okay, I'm feeling something. I'm feeling some heaviness in my throat. I'm feeling some butterflies in my stomach. Okay, so fear. All right, and then the wheel will take you, okay, this is actually some nervousness, unease. Okay, I'm feeling unease. And as you trace and feel where this emotion is in your body, detach from the story. We're doing bottom up, not the story right now. So yes, the story, the experience, the scenario might have caused or created this reaction in your body, but we're just gonna deal with feeling it. And as you feel it, notice that emotion and the energy of the emotion starts to dissolve and dissipate just by pausing, touching, feeling, noticing, breathing. There's so much out there that when we allow emotion to process, it is 90 seconds for it to process, which is pretty cool for people who live a lot of their life in anxiety and worry and overwhelm. If we just take a moment to tap in and create that safety in our body for the emotion, it will process. And you can actually track this. I have found the more I come into my body and feel the emotions really, really go. They process because they're meant to process. And then bringing the two together, now we can focus on the top down. What was the story? And when it's not fueled by the emotion and the energy of it, you'll notice that you can see it, clear it, process that emotion much more easily than if you were feeling the anxiousness, the unease, whatever the emotion was, the worry in your body. It's like they fuel each other. And when you can start to neutralize, come into that safety in your nervous system, now you can create a beautiful mind-body connection. Be like, okay, and deal with what that thought was. So really, what I want to share with you is connect what moves the needle for you in each part of your journey, and you'll start to find in the journey that a pulling of top down and bottom up. The middle is really the ingredients, just like to make a beautiful cake or meal. It's not just one food group, it's not just one ingredient. It is a beautiful blend and mix and folding in of many. And this isn't to overwhelm you with like, I have to do it all. It's try them on. Try on different modalities, different practices, and tune in what moves the needle for you mentally, physically, emotionally. I also want to gift you an experience of a clinical hypnotherapy session, of an RTT session, so you can dip your toes in and play, practice, try this on for you. So I'm going to leave a link in the description below. It will be my website, meganelise.com, with RTT session. So RTT stands for Rapid Transformational Therapy, and it is subconscious work. It is parts work. So it kind of pulls, again, it's like a beautiful hybrid and mixture of some amazing and transformative, it says it in the title, Rapid Transformational Therapy, therapies. Now, the word rapid, why I will definitely stand by that beautiful gifted name that my teacher Marissa Peer named it, is because I did experience it. Going from a 12 to a 5. That was rapid, how short of a window that took me. And after feeling at a 12 for my whole teenage, probably child too, I didn't know any different, and early 20s life. And then again, it was okay, I'm at a 5 now. What else? How else can I support my nervous system, my body, to continue to move down that scale? To connect to the nervous system when you're feeling activated, so emotional regulation, that's one area. Another practice for you is when you are feeling that dysregulation. Notice if you're in the fight or flight, so ways to start to bring you back into that safety zone. I'm going to give you some techniques here and write them down, or actually do them in the video, is shaking. We are calming our nervous system. We're moving through that energy, giving it a place to go. There is arm swings, where standing side to side and swinging your arms to the right, to the left. There's even, you can swing so much that one hand hits the top of your shoulder. Make it even more dramatic than what I'm showing. There's gentle bouncing. yoga. So yoga actually started to move the needle once I did work in the middle with the subconscious work, and my yoga practice changed completely. I loved Shavasana. I enjoyed the yoga flows and the yin yogas that were torture for me when my body was in such a state of anxiety. I wanted power yoga. I wanted it intense. I wanted it fast. It was so cool to see the changes reflected in my inner world on my yoga mat. So yoga poses, I have a yoga video for calming anxiety that I will also put in the description below so that you can practice that. And if you try it and you're like, this didn't move the needle whatsoever, come back to it later on in your journey and you might surprise yourself like, wow, this was so different from when I tried it the first time. Couldn't shut my mind off. You might need something a little bit more intense. So these practices I'm sharing with you for when you're in that fight or flight, the shaking, the arm swings, try them on and notice which ones actually do move the needle for you. Pillow slams are a good one. Getting outside and going hiking, doing a push on the wall, like go to a wall and like push really hard. Those are some examples for nervous system regulation. If you're going more in a shutdown, now where your body is just feeling so immobilized and you're just feeling so heavy, it's hard to get out of bed. I've been there for sure. And you just like literally want to go down a spiral and stay there. We want to start getting your body mobilized. So light body tapping, up and down your arms, down your legs, just to start to get some energy, safety, connection back into your body. Heel drops, so standing and dropping your heel. This feels so good on the ground, Mother Earth, grounding, and just slamming your heels down. And you can just feel the shake go all up your body. It's like, shakes things up. Really, really love that one. Seated hip circles, can be in a seat, cross-legged, and just move around. Oh, that one feels so good too. Aromatherapy, essential oils, bringing back your senses, mobilizing, right? Listening to music, just getting outside, getting some fresh air, gentle swaying, gentle stretching, and of course breathing for both of these, fight, flight, or shutdown. So it's just important to be aware where your body is in and what is actually bringing the calmness or bringing you back to that safety in your body. You might try it for like 10 seconds and it's doing nothing. This is a commitment. This is a devotion to your unique anxiety recovery and healing and overcoming. There's no one size fits all. So this is why, just like going shopping, you're going to try on different items and be like, okay, this feels good here. Yeah, okay. Or like create your own wardrobe where it's like, I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to take that. Making your own cake. Like you get to find the ingredients of what to mix in at what amount and move from there. So it's actually really cool. You actually really get to know yourself, your body, in a way that I never knew you could, because right when we're in anxiety, we're just really not feeling our body. Now, one thing I definitely feel is really important that is kind of missed in all of these modalities, even the one that I guide clients through that I actually add in now with our work together, because I just find it so important. And it's not only for empaths really feel energy, really feel other people, but for everyone, because we all, believe it or not, can feel energy. It is a thing. For example, you walk into a room and there's just someone who hasn't even said anything, yet they just emit this calm aura and presence about them. You can feel that. Or you feel heebie-jeebies from somebody. We've all felt that. You're feeling energy. Science is showing our hands, we emit energy and it's mapping it, okay? So with this, the more tune you get with yourself, your body. When I was hanging out around this 5, I started to become aware I was really, really swayed and affected by other people's moods, by other people's energy. I was taking on everyone around me. So I couldn't even discern, is this something I need tending to, or is this actually someone else's that I'm taking on? So there's an energetic piece here that I want to add and share and gift you. Placing up energy shields each day, or before you go into a busy place, or around people that just aren't your vibe, but perhaps they're a family member and we're just going to be around them for an amount of time. Placing energy shields up around you, you can, just depends what your beliefs are. You can ask Archangel Michael, place your blue shield of energetic protection around me. I always use that for when I'm driving my car. I used to get a lot of car anxiety, and I will just ask for a shield of protection around the car. I will also do that when I'm flying, a shield of protection around the airplane, and just visualize it, see it, ask it. Again, connect to what resonates with you, what you can tap into. Or you can just, if you're religious, ask what you ask for protection, energy shield protection. Or there's also a triple shield of energetic protection, a white light, what you connect to, energy shields. And on the outside of your energy, this is actually important. Only the highest vibrational energy may penetrate when you put up those shields, because we want love, we want joy, we want peace to enter and exit. You giving love, joy, and peace, you receiving love, joy, and peace, right? And on the outside of your energy shield, this has been taught in the energy world, we place a rose on the outside of our field, and anyone's projections, anyone's energy goes onto the rose, where it gets to be cleared, exploded, returned, and neutralized to Mother Earth or to the white light, so that it is not going into your energy, into your field. Other people's stories, other people's limiting beliefs, projections around you about themselves to you goes onto this rose. Clear the rose. You can also just set your energy field. Anyone's energy that is not for my highest and greatest good may bounce off to me. Sometimes I just say return to sender. We don't want that energy. No, thank you. I would definitely love to hear from you what stage you are in the journey. Maybe you can share something inspiring in the comments for others to read, because we're really all in this together. You're not alone, and you never know who you will touch with your stories, with your comments, to inspire, because it can get pretty dark at times for sure in the journey. It absolutely can. I trust there was a helpful tip or tidbit and insight for you to take with you if you feel pulled to go deeper in this journey of healing and overcoming anxiety. You're at a point in your journey where it's feeling resonant for someone to walk with you, guide you through moving down. I want you to know there are oodles of people and practitioners and therapists and people out there that, I could not have done that journey. I'm still in my journey. I could not have done it alone, and I'm so grateful for the people that the universe had guided me to and put in front of me. And if you feel like I'm one of those people for you, I would love to guide you through an anxiety program where we walk together, we go through the middle, we go through top down, bottom up, everything in this video times 100 in such a deep, personalized way, because again, this is a personal journey and it's ever evolving through each. 10 to 1 is the best visual way It's not a linear journey, but that's the best way I can explain it. My intention is we just live and lead our best lives, and each day in anxiety is just not in alignment with that. Coming from someone who's walked the path, who's moved through it and continuing to move through it, there is hope, there is light. Till next we meet, so much love to you. Animals are very therapeutic too. Hey, Andy. It just creates such a safe, loving space.